All right. Crossroad Blues. Outro solo. Key of D flat. All right, let me see if I could get this. All right, a little stumble in the middle, but I came back. I came back strong at the end, so I'll keep this. You know, I've been trying to do it a few times, and I keep crumbling, keep missing it. So I think that one's as good as I'm going to get it. What makes it so hard is the pausing. You know, again, blues, you breathe in between. Let it take its time, you know. This is the difference between amateur and master blues man, is the space, the time. And I think it was Miles Davis said, you know, you have to learn to play the spaces. Right? The rests. You gotta breathe. Okay, so anyway, here it is, right? We'll go over this. Crossroad Blues, key of D flat, 9th fret. Okay, it starts off on the 5th to the 4th. Then he goes 4th minor 3rd root. So then he plays sliding from the 4th to the 5th. I said common slide to the root on the next string. Then he grabs the 4th, 4th minor 3rd, 4th, 4th minor 3rd root. Okay, so all together. Hold on. Now he goes up. Minor 3rd, 4th, slide into the 5th, minor 3rd, root. Minor 3rd, 5th to the root. Okay, so now he just rests here. I mean, that was a nice intro way to start the story. Set it up now, and he leaves a lot of space. And at some point, he plays. I was like, "What was this? What was that?" It's almost, you almost could miss it. He just does this root minor 3rd. You know, I don't know if he was going to do something else, and then he just stopped, changed his mind. I don't know. He just felt like doing that little blip. And then he went into this nice idea now where he starts root, minor 3rd, 4th, minor 3rd, 5th. See that? Root, minor 3rd, 4th, minor 3rd. And then I'm grabbing the 5th up here. Now some of you guys might be saying, why not just get it right there? Right? It's right there. But the reason I think he does it like this, I think the best is like you do 2nd, 1st on the minor 3rd, then you get the 4th with your 2nd finger, minor 3rd, 1st, and then your 3rd is right. And I'm assuming kind of a lot of blues players don't use their pinky much. You know, us guitar rock blues guitarist, we neglect this guy. I mean, it's just the way it is, folks, right? And a lot of it has to do with the strength of your third, being able to bend, and you get used to using it so much. But, yeah, you could, I played bass for a while, so my pinky got pretty strong. So you could grab it with your pinky. But again, why not play this one and not even move? Right? It's because what follows is this. Root, minor third, fourth, flat 5. So it goes. Then he does it again. 2 of those with the flat 5. But that's why, because you're playing this and then this. And the timbre or the brightness, whatever you want to say, is the same. It's so close. I think that's why it's coming from here. I think Jimmy plays it there. I mean, you could do it, that works too, but I just think it sounds better. This idea. Followed, we're playing the notes very close. Same timbre, is that the word, timbre? Because we're on the G string. We all know that this note on the G string, the 5th here, this one's brighter on the B string. Same note, but they sound a little different. The thickness of the string, the position, the different fret. The string is thinner, it's brighter. Anyway, we're talking, putting it under a microscope, and we're going to, this thing will be stale by the time we're done, the magic will be gone. But, I'm trying to get it as close as I can. All right, so here we go. Anyway, so we do that one twice with the flat 5. And notice this one goes back and forth. Root, minor third, fourth, minor third, 5th. But the other ones just go straight up. Root, minor third, fourth, flat 5. Now we do 4th, slide into 5th, and hit the root. Not the flat 7. We've seen that a lot, but this is the 5th. Twice. Now you do. I like doing all upstrokes until the last one. 5th, minor third, root. And the last one I do downstroke. Oh, nice. I don't know how I get that the pinch harmonic. Sometimes I strike the string. There it is. I think my finger gets in the way, the meat of my finger, and it stops the vibration of the string, but yet not enough so that the note. I don't know, it's an accident, but that's definitely a cool technique to have, right? You catch the listener's ear right away. So now you follow that up. Now this, 5th, sliding 4th to 5th, and grabbing the root, you could do it here. You could do it there too. I don't know if Jimmy does it there. I think he might, because it sounds like they ring out. They ring out more. Either way you want to do it. And now he plays actually, now the second part, I think he definitely plays here. He plays fourth, slide into fifth, hits the root, and then he plays root, and then hold on, what did I say there? Fourth, slide into fifth, and hits the root, and then you play fifth, then minor third, fifth, double stop, root, flat 7. Wait. Let me do it. Let me get this. Let me see. Let me get it from, well, heck. A lot of space here. All right, that's it. So then you do, after you this is, I think, definitely on the downbeat. Then you got, so that's a minor third, fifth, double stop again, then 2 roots, and then the flat 7. Now, this part, this is nice. He slides again to the minor third and fifth. And now he plays the fourth and bends to the 5, to the 5th. We've seen that. We've seen that bend, but never. I love the double stop. Filling it up, and then it's getting cut off with this move. And that's where we're going. We're going to the 5 chord, so we're bending 4th up to 5th. Okay? It's on the 5, and then we come to the 4. Okay? And watch this move that he does to get to the 4. That's the 4. He does. Botched it a little there, but here, it's just think fourth minor third root, and then followed to flat 7 root, flat 7 5th, 4th. So again. See that? But this 4th also has his friend next to it, which is the major 6 double stop. So it's not, it's okay, I heard something. I'm like, wait a minute, because he's doing this all the time, you know, lick number 1 type. Put that little hammer on before it. Well, you know, just do it. Yeah, get that major 6 in there. Nice. Never seen him use that like in that way. You know, we've seen this double stop, but this is a different way of using it, right? So again, from the going to the 5. Now he plays first finger bend. We haven't seen him in a while. Our first finger's been getting a little lazy, right? It'll build your callus back up. So what happened, you go... See that? Okay, the first finger bend is the minor third bent to the fifth. But what we do, we set it up minor third, fourth, minor third, and then we hit the minor third again and bend it to the fourth. See that? Then we release, and when we do, we hit that minor third. Right away, we jump to the root. Think Albert King when he plays. Right, that little minor third blip. Fourth bent to fifth. And then you just hit the minor third quick to the root twice. Right? Think of that. But now it's minor third to fourth. Same principle. You don't hear the bend goes up. You hear it go up, but you don't hear it come down. You don't hear, you know. There's way you can work that idea if you like, but strictly speaking, the way Jimmy's doing it, and the way he seems to do it almost all the time, you never hear that going back. It's like... See, you don't hear the release. You just hear it going up. The same with this one. But what makes this easier, you don't hear. But that is common. That you do hear a lot of release bends on that. When you bend up, there you don't, but you do hear this a lot. Right? You do hear that release bend a lot on that. Where you bend the fourth to the fifth, and then you could release it, and then pull off to the minor third, and then quickly hit the root. So you're getting like a flurry of, with like 4 notes. See that? You're hearing that. You're hearing actually bending up to the fourth to fifth, then the fourth, then the minor third, then the root. See that? So you do hear, you know, I'm just going over this now, thinking of it, you know. You do hear the release. But on this guy, first finger bend, as far as we've learned it, I haven't really heard examples. That's a silent release, okay? You don't... Okay, again, folks, the dynamics and the way we play it, right? It's the way it's played. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so where are we now? What ends up happening after that, right? We got those nice moves. So now he slides fourth to fifth, and that's why I'm catching this with the second finger. After this, now we got our third, could go right here, right behind him. Fourth to fifth. And then we go fourth to fifth. Now we go minor third, fifth, double stop. We start to retard because we feel the end coming, and it goes. So it's root, flat 7, root, minor third, back to the root. And right there, you go. Okay, this is the tag. This is just going down the minor pentatonic, plain and simple. You got the root, flat 7, fifth, We stop on the fourth a little, some vibrato. On the minor third a little vibrato, okay? Now we do root, pull off to the flat 7, fifth, flat 7 root. Then we go down to the low root, minor third with the pinky, or third if you want, fourth, fifth, flat 7. And then you end on the root. And this is impossible to recreate exactly. This is just the tag at the end. It's like free form, you know. They're just crashing there, and it's you're gonna like fade out before the little like the drum roll to end the whole thing, you know. Whatever you call the flam or whatever that's called that the drummer does at the end. All right, so that pretty much covers the whole thing, you know, and it's chock full of good stuff, but definitely this move. Now if I could do it. Oh, let me get that again. I started wrong. Here we go. You ready? Can play that better too. It goes. You want to get a little bend, I think, going on that. A little bend before the root comes in. So let me try it again. You ready? Yeah, you know, not easy. I told you I botched it a lot. I got through it in the intro. Stumbled somewhere in the middle. I did something a little off, but you know, again, to recreate this stuff, folks, you know, just I know this is getting long too, but you know, just take what you can. Don't get frustrated. It happens to all of us. We get some parts and just like, how the heck do I do this? It's not meant to be right now. Give it time. You know, you can't grow a flower. You can't just dump all water and expect the thing to grow. It's got to take its time, day after day. And I want to just conclude something interesting. You know, a coworker of mine, we were talking about, I don't know if you ever heard the 10,000 hour rule, and I brought it up to him, and I forget the name of the researcher who came up with this idea, you know, to become good at anything, you know, an expert in something, you got to spend 10,000 hours. And if you do the math, that takes a good amount of time. You know, nothing is just overnight, obviously. And thing he mentioned was, they said, well, it's actually 10,000 hours. But have you ever heard when you go to practice, okay, we tend to, like, when we sit down to do anything, really, practicing an instrument is a perfect example, though. You'll play, you'll warm your fingers up, you'll get into the zone, you'll get the, you know, the first 5 minutes, you start, your mind starts to open up. And then within, like, you know, the next 15 minutes or so, maybe even just 10 minutes, is the ideal learning moment, you know, process. Then after a while, your mind starts to get tired and zones out. So let's say if you practice for an hour, the first 15 to 20 minutes are the crucial time. After that, that last 40 minutes, you're basically, I don't know, but they say like you're basically just wasting time because you're not retaining any of it. You're not really growing. Your mind isn't really those synapses, those nerves that are like, making the new connections, and the muscle memories, and the your ear is getting better. You're just kind of overdoing it now. You're just tired. And I'm sure you guys would, anyone who's been practicing for a while, at least a year, could even tell, this is true. If I was to say to you, let's put in, 2 hours on a Friday, let's say we don't have much of a social life, right? And we just stay at home and we stay on a Friday night. We put in 3 hours of practicing, right? And then the rest of the week we don't do anything, right? So if you practice only like 15-20 minutes every day of the week, it's way more productive. Your results will definitely be better than somebody trying to cram, like cramming for a test, right? It's like, even if you did cram for that test and you did okay on it, maybe the next day, that all that info was out the window in another week. You can't even remember anything, right? But if you really enjoy it and you do it little by little, you pay attention during the semester and you're into it, and you take your time, you'll just do it and know it. You'll really know it, And this same thing with the instrument. Like if you play 10, 15 minutes in bursts, little bursts, then your mind starts to zone out. You could catch it, it. You're like, sometimes for me, the only time I had to pick up this thing, I'm like late at night after the kids are put to bed, and I can't crank the amp like this. I can't have the amp up here. I have it not even on. Right? And I would just figure out some of Jimmy's solo, maybe like 2 or 3 bars, one lick, one phrase. And then I'd be falling asleep. I'm like, all right, I gotta go to work tomorrow. And after a couple of years, I collected like a whole encyclopedia. I transcribed dozens of his solos and his songs and the little fills in between. It's amazing what you can do at little bits at a time, Like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So I'm noticing that, and if it's any help, I know it's long-winded again, but, when you're trying to practice your stuff, do little bits. And one thing my coworker told me, right, which is interesting, he said all like amazing players, when they did studies, and they looked at violinists, and the top ones that went into professional careers as a musician who could cut it, and then the top prodigies, like the first chair in the orchestra, the best one out of all of them, okay, the most skilled, talented, whatever you want to call it, they all had something in common than those who didn't make it professionally and just did it on the side, and weren't as successful, didn't get as developed on the instrument. And this was the common thing. The ones that became professionals and the top chairs, they took naps. They all took naps. And the ones who didn't, and you'd say, what the heck? You were going to, out of all things, my coworker, I didn't know what he was going to tell me. And he said they all took naps. But it makes sense, because what's happening is, when a person works out, if you ever were into, I know I don't look like it anymore. I'm 50 years old now. But when I was young, you get into working out and you realize, you learn, you don't grow when you get a pump when you're in the gym, but you don't grow while you're working out. You grow when you're sleeping, when you rest, and your body is rebuilding the muscles, okay, to become back stronger the next couple of days later. Sometimes, amazingly, in bodybuilding and working out, if you actually don't do as much, I know this is kind of backwards, but if you work out and rest more, you'll actually grow more. And it's because you're resting. I mean, you gotta put in a good workout. You can't, half-ass it. So when you go to work out, you gotta really train hard. But then if it's called overtraining. I'm sure you all heard of it. If you just keep going every day, you're going to actually start to go backwards and get, you're not going to progress at all. But if you rest, you come back stronger and bigger. And anyway, I'm just, going on about with the guitar. Taking naps makes sense because if you practice 15 minutes here and then another 15 minutes and 20 minutes again later, each time you're sitting down and putting in the time, you're putting in good focus time. Your mind is awake and receptive. And then when you take a nap, the brain builds those connections. The ear, the finger memory, the muscles, right? And it all comes together, and you'll notice you start to. I've noticed this. I used to put hours running stupid scales and all this stuff, and nothing. I was overdoing it. I wasn't practicing the right things. I wasn't training my ear. I wasn't learning things by ear. I wasn't transcribing. Like I said, I got dozens of solos transcribed. And you start to recognize these little bits. Resting is one thing that's tough now that I'm 50 and I have 2 kids and I got a job and all that. It's like your mind is constantly like going. So if you're younger, good luck to you because, life's a little less stressful. Stress kills and stress blocks the learning process. So don't get frustrated. Stay strong. Take those naps. All right, get that rest. You need it. And do short bursts. Don't try to practice all on a Friday night or a Wednesday night for 2 hours and then neglect the rest of the week. You get it? So you do little bits at a time. That's my advice. But anyway, who am I? What's this clown know? All right. Anyway, thanks for listening to, and we'll catch you on the next video.